Is yeah, Vijayanagaram campus is also saying all right. So I think then we'll go ahead, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, are you sharing desktop, sir, now today?
I will be sharing desktop, correct? But then I'll do it. No, I just want to talk to them a little bit and then start sharing the desktop. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, I think we have looked at no. Yeah, I think everybody says things are fine, so we'll go ahead. Yeah. Okay. What I'm going to do today is sort of take you to cloud. Last few sessions, most seven, 8 sessions, we've been looking at how to do distributed computing with Java. We saw a client-server program, a simple client-server program, and then we also saw a multi-threaded server program. And why we need to write the multi-threaded server program is what we saw. You know? Why it becomes important that we write multi-threaded server programs for giving better response time to the server. Okay, we saw two versions of it there. In fact, I wanted to develop a third version of it, uh, but I think we will start moving ahead now. You know, we will sort of start looking at how large scale distributed computing is done on more than one server. Especially that's a challenge. Imagine if you have actually 100 servers or 200 servers, then you want to actually write your programs to be running on that many number of servers. Normally nowadays even 10,000 plus servers is something that people have in their data centers. That means one data center has 10,000 servers. Okay, then you want to write a program that works on 10,000 servers. Then you start writing the Java programs the way I wrote the Java programs. It is going to be extremely difficult because you're not, if you want to open socket connections to 1,000 nodes or 10,000 nodes, writing all those server IP addresses and making sure you're able to connect to all these servers, and it is extremely difficult. That's where this whole paradigm shifts. We want to abstract lots of these things to a very high level and want to write our programs at a very high level, and rest of the work of making these connections, making all these lower level connections should be done by the automatic compilers or automatic middleware. So you want to actually have a whole lot of stack that does this work automatically for you. That's where the cloud computing starts coming into picture. Okay, right. So we will start now. One of the things that I'm going to do to start with for introducing you to the cloud is I'm not going to put up slides and then start talking cloud is this, cloud is that, and all that. This course is mainly meant making you understand. Um, Somebody is saying audio is not fine. What about others? Is the audio fine for others? Ramakrishna, please check. Jntuk KU4 is saying audio is not fine. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Uh, this course, I'm not going to put a lot of slides and then tell you what abstractly cloud is this, cloud is that, and all that. What we will do is the main purpose of this course is to teach you the concepts hands-on and make you ready for doing some of the stuff that the industry looks at. So that's a goal. That's why this course is going in a practical sense. Though the concepts are there, we're actually showing them in some practical sense how this actually makes sense in a practical context. Okay, that's how this course is focused. Now, when we move on to the cloud, we're going to do a similar thing. Okay, what I'm going to do is, if you see the thread in this course, I've written a small client server program. The server is sitting in my lab. Now what I do is I'll show you how to move this server to the cloud. Okay, same client server program, whatever I've written as a client server program, Now I'll teach you how to work with the cloud by actually moving my server to the cloud. Okay, whatever locally I work with, I'm going to move this cloud to the server to the cloud. Okay, and show you what in the process it means, what cloud computing means, and how do you work with cloud, and what are the issues working with the cloud, all practical issues and concepts also relating to the cloud by just this example. Okay, so that's what I wish to do. Okay. If you have any questions, please start raising these questions in the chat box. I am looking at the chat continuously, so feel free to interrupt me, and then some discussion is always good. Okay. Now, in terms of looking at the cloud, what I'm looking at is now a specific cloud, this thing called the digital ocean. Okay, there is this Amazon Web Services (AWS), which is a popular cloud platform. So where you can get in and then start having resources on demand. Okay, um, and you also have Microsoft Azure Cloud. Okay, and you have so many other clouds like Rackspace. All these people actually now rent. Like you rent a car, you can rent a machine, compute machine, in the cloud, which means that now I need some. I don't have a server. I have only this laptop with me. Whatever I've done, this client server program, I want to do it. So what do? I actually now go and then try to see if I can get a server out in the cloud. This is like just renting a car, as opposed to owning a car. If you're an owner of a car, the car is with you all the time. If you rent, what do? You just get it on demand. You call up a cab service, book a cab, and it comes, use the cab and pay it, and then leave it. So after that, the cab, you're no longer maintaining the cab, and then you're not owning the cab, you're just using its service. Similarly, a compute server, you saw in the lab server where I wrote my program, okay, 10.6.9.81, I wrote the program, okay, I actually use the program, right? So as opposed to that, now I want to say, look, I want to go to the cloud and then want to rent a server where I can write this client server program. Okay, I'll show you all the things that can happen in the process. This is what cloud all means. Cloud means I no longer own a server, but I will get it on demand. I will use that cloud, that server, for a period of time, whatever this class for the duration of the class. I'll pay for that time that I've used that server, and then after that I'll throw that. I'm no longer owner of that server. Okay, that's what we mean by on-demand accessing a server resource and making use of it. Okay, for doing your work. Okay, now let us see how this can be done. Okay, so I'll start sharing my desktop. So I will actually take you to the. I could have used any cloud platforms. Okay, anything that is available right now as a cloud platform. Okay, but then since I have this DigitalOcean, which for me look very cheap, and then it's very easy for me to use, I'm just using this DigitalOcean. Okay, I'll just show you how to work with this. In the process, I'll also explain you the concepts of this cloud as I see it. After a couple of classes, I'll formally put slides so that you know what all I'm actually covering more as a part of the course material. Okay. Now let me take you to the. Okay, I'm just sharing the desktop now. Okay. Now let us see how we can start working with a cloud platform. Okay. Now let me see if I've already created something here, but then I'll go from first principles and try to show you what I'm actually doing. Okay. So now I will actually go and then look at this cloud platform called DigitalOcean. Okay. DigitalOcean is a cloud server. This is where now we can see uh, this is something like this. You will get over the web. Okay. Now you can use this interface for no, getting resources, compute resources. Okay, so it's very simple. Why I'm also using this is this DigitalOcean is fairly simple compared to the more sophisticated interfaces other cloud platforms have. Okay. Now what do? I just for this whole thing I'll just log in. I just log into, you have to create and give your credit card and all that. I'm assuming that, if you are actually doing this, then you need all this. So I'll assume I have all this. So all that I'll do is now log into this, which allows me to log into this platform. And now this is where I'll create a server now. As you can see, I've already created one server here. Jntuk BDA is one of the servers I just started in the afternoon just before the class. I'm just testing something. So I went and created this one droplet. They call this as a droplet. I've already created this, droplet here. Okay. This is a server instance. Now let us say I want to create a new droplet. This interface is quite simple. So I'll just say create a droplet for me. A droplet is nothing but, in this particular case, it is machine. Okay. Now let us call this machine name as Jntuk BDA1. Okay, I've already got one. So you can see now, select the size of the server that you actually want. Okay. For example, this is $5, almost 0.007 dollar per hour. Okay. This will work less than a rupee per hour. So see how cheap this is. This is in fact, 512 MB of one CPU will have 512 MB, 20 GB SSD disk, and it will give you actually about 1000 GB transfer rates. Okay, this is the cost. This is the cost of this. Okay, if you go to a higher one, 1 GB, one CPU, that means they are virtualized. Imagine what DigitalOcean is having now. DigitalOcean is having lots of these servers in some place in their data centers. Now what they're doing, they're letting you create, an instance of the server. They virtualized it. So with this interface, what you will be able to do is run a virtual machine on one of the hardware that they have. So that's what they're providing you, and that's what we mean by virtualizing the service. And this is what cloud actually calls as a platform as a service. You no longer can need to own a compute cycles. You can actually rent them. This is the rental. Okay, $5 per month. Okay, that's about 300 rupees for roughly about 300 rupees per month. You get a server of this type. Okay, this kind of a server is what you're going to get. So let us say this is what I want to have. These are the different server configurations that you can rent from them. $80 per month. Okay, an 8 GB, 4 CPU server, 2 CPU, can take dual CPUs. Okay, you have all this. You can also specify the regions where you want this instance to be created. For example, they have data centers in New York, Amsterdam, San Francisco, Singapore, London, okay, Frankfurt. These are the places where they have their data centers. So you can say this instance can run in any of these regions. So wherever their data centers are, they've indicated here. So now you can say this is the place you want your instance to be created. So this will go and get created in the region at Singapore. Okay, and what kind of operating system you want to bring it up on your server. Okay, now as you can see here, the distributions that are available is Ubuntu, FreeBSD, Fedora, Debian, CoreOS, and CentOS. One of the ideas for this class is now to provide pre-create, okay, the Boss-Mool stack, okay, Boss-Mool operating system. It's a variant of the Linux distribution. So instead of Ubuntu, CoreOS, and Fedora, and all this Debian, we'll provide you with a version of Boss-Mool, okay, Bharat operating system, basic object-oriented Linux, which is created by IIT Madras, and now that is something that we have given to both these campuses, okay, and that whole stack, Hadoop stack, will be available, but this will not have the Hadoop stack. When I am actually renting this machine now, it will not have the Hadoop stack, okay, it will just the operating system. So what am I getting now? I am getting a hardware. I'm specifying the hardware which I need. This is the server configuration, and this is the OS I want to have. An Ubuntu 14.0 version, 64-bit version is what I'm going to have. Okay. Now with this, I can go ahead and say, please create a droplet for me. So you can say create a droplet. Okay. This will create a droplet for you. Now you can see I'm creating a instance for me. A server instance for me in the cloud. Okay, I don't know where this is. I know it is in some data center in Singapore owned by DigitalOcean. So they're supposed to give me this, create a machine there and give me an access so that I can do whatever I want. This is exactly similar to what I did previously with my lab server. Only thing is the lab server, I know I have actually bought that server. It is available here. So when I wrote this client server program, this 10.6.9.81 server, I physically can see that machine in my lab. Okay, and I'm just logging in over the network to that machine and started the server program there, and then from anywhere the client will be able to access and do this work with the server there. Okay, right? No, that's what we actually been providing as far as this thing is concerned. Now, what I'm trying to say is I'm asking them to create now an instance for me in the cloud. I gave my specification. I said, please create this instance with that means memory and all that. And then I asked them to create the instance in Singapore. And then I just said, please give the access to me for this. Okay. Now this is where this will give you the console access. Now once you say I need a console access for this, you can just go to the console access. But then before that, what I need to do is I need to actually find out the password. Are you all able to see the whole thing? Are you able to see my desktop, all of you? Because yes, I'm going to do something little sensitive now, okay? Because I need a console access to this. For getting the console access, if I click on this, I'll get an access to that machine wherever it is. I get a console access to that machine, which means that I'll be able to log in and do whatever I want to do on that machine. Okay. For example, in this particular case, if I click on a console, okay, I should be able to get the console access. Okay, so you can see this machine is having the IP address 188.166.254.82. This is IP address that was okay. I guess it says that failed to establish a connection to the console, and it says no, back to the droplet. I'll just see if the droplet got created, then I'll see. Let me just see if I can get a console access again. Okay, the reloading probably it's trying to create. So this I can still again says that it failed to actually I think I should be able to. Must be something happening here. So maybe let me try one more time. Should give me a console access. Okay. If there is a problem getting out of the I guess there is a problem with this droplet. I'm not able to get the console access on this. I don't know what was the problem with this droplet. So let me just see if the other droplet that I created, whether I'm able to get console access to it. Okay, I was able to get the console access to this droplet previously. So let me see if I'm able to get the console access to that. Yeah, I guess there is a problem with my connection here. Obviously, I think I need to move to eyeball Banton. Yeah, let us see if I'm able to now get back to the Am I online? Okay. So let me try getting the console access now. Let me see if this works, because there is, I think, a problem. Yes, I think it is largely, I think, problem with my Wi-Fi connection. I think I've actually so I'll just go to the droplets. Okay, I have another this thing running. So this Jntuk BD1. There are two instances which I've created now, which are running. Okay. Now you can see I'll just go to this new instance that I created. Now this I say console access, please give me console access. This should give me the console access. As you can see here is a console access. Okay. For accessing this instance, I need the root password and the root password, root and the root password. Okay, this I would have got with my in my email. This actually will send to my email these credentials, so I can actually go and then start accessing this the DigitalOcean. So this is says now this is a password that it has created. So I actually need to write down this password and then enter it. As you can see here, there is a password thing that is coming in here. 3017639090 B A 0 B 0. Yeah. Okay. So I have to just go to the console access now and then see if I can type in this 301760. Oh gosh, what happened? I seem to have lost the. Okay. So there is some issue here. I have to give 301760 B 20 A 0 B. Yeah, it immediately prompts me to actually change the password. So I'll enter the password. Okay. Okay. I don't know what happened. Oh gosh, I think this is still not changed it for me. So I have to do the 1760 394 0 pass. I think there is a problem with the way I'm actually typing this. Possibly there is a password problem. I think 0 394 20 A 0 B 0. Login incorrect. It says login incorrect. Okay. 301. I don't know if I've written it correctly. 394 0. Sorry. I'm typing it wrongly. Okay. 301 760 394 B 20 A 0. Yeah. I don't know what's happening. It's actually not letting me. Let me go and then go to the. This is sometimes a pain because back to Droplet. I'll see if I can change the password. Somehow it's not letting me log in. So I'll just say reset the root password. This should have sent me, as another password. Okay, the password reset is processing. So this should have sent me another password to the, I want to show you the practical problems of working with the cloud. Okay, I just log in there, the same server I'm going to set it up, okay, and make it work. So what I get is a bare minimum hardware along with an operating system, and you can start putting whatever you want and for whatever time, so we have to follow this reasoning little carefully. So what you're doing is platform as a service here. So you're actually trying to create a hardware as a service. So you're actually able to get the hardware, whatever you want in the cloud. You're trying to get it and then sort of process it as part of the, so once you've given your request, the cloud is actually creating this and trying to make the whole thing work. Okay? right? So it's creating the right. So the reset should have been on now, should have been over. So let me see if the reset has happened. Have sent me the reset password. Yes, your password has been sent now. Okay. Now this has given me a new password 56585D62. Okay. FFD. I have to write down this and then 22F2. Okay. This I have to use for now accessing the droplet that I've created. Then go to console access now. Okay. Now when you're getting this console access, you have to now log into this machine. So now this is root access, and then what I have is 56585D62 FFD22F2. Okay. Let me see if it gives me, says again not correct. I'm not sure again if I made a mistake. 585D62 FFD22F2. I hope it's correct. It says it's not correct, so I have to go back and check what was the mistake that I did, whether I've written down the password correctly or not. 56585D62FF DF is there. One more F is there. Yes, I missed one F here. Okay. So F22F2. Okay, so there's a mistake from my side. 22F2. Okay, let us see if it works now. Okay, root 56585 D62 FF D F22 F2. Hope this works now. Yeah, okay. Hope it will ask me to retype. Oh gosh, what's happening? Can't understand why it is actually logging me out. Okay, seems to have some problem with this. Let me try one more time. Either my password is not correct or something is happening. 56585 D62 FF F2. Okay, so this is coming out. It asked me for let me see if I'm able to go back to my previous droplet. I've already logged in there. Okay, this one I've already logged in and just created a password here. Okay, I'm not sure if there is a conflict that's happening, but I'll try to see. I think this is working fine, I guess. I don't know if it is on. Yeah, this is on. Okay, I have this droplet I'm able to access. Let me see why I'm having problem with this droplet. For what reason this droplet seems to have a problem. Okay, so I'll just go to the droplets once again. Just give me a minute. Okay, let's go back to the droplets. Access this new droplet that we had created. Looks like it's pretty slow now. Okay. Yes, let me just go one more time to this. I should be able to get access to this. I don't know what's happening. I will again do a reset on this. I don't know what's the problem. I'm just trying to figure out what the problem is. because the other one I'm into it. If nothing happens, I will just go back to it and then start using that instance. It's fairly simple. Only thing is, I think, and I'm giving this a fairly long password that it is sending me. So it's a bit, tricky for me to type in it carefully. And if I'm making any mistake, possibly it is, creating a problem for me. Okay. So it should have come to this. The net also looks pretty slow now. These are the problems that you start facing when you're working with the cloud, right? So these are the problems. I want you to understand what are the problems that you will face with the cloud now. I'm going over the public internet, right? Since I'm going over the public internet, I don't have control on the speed at which this public internet works, right? So if I'm working with it, it's possible that I'm actually stuck with with the speeds. Now it's again, you can see this has sent now one more password. Hopefully this time I'm hoping that 5560BB4E510D. Okay. Hopefully let us make one last try happening, whether we are able to get through this and then go to the console access. Once we get to the console access, I'll show you what's the kind of stuff that you probably want to do. Sorry, root. Okay, connected successfully. So 152C 5560 BB 4E 510B. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's come now. Okay. I'm a bit concerned. I don't know what's happening here because it's just not letting me change the because I have the other this thing, which is pretty simple in the other case. Okay. Now I'm not finding why it's actually letting me not change the change your root password info. So you're required to change the root password. Okay. It's somehow not letting me change and not letting me log in. Okay. So there is some problem. I don't know what problem this is facing. Okay. Now let me try. See, because I need an access to this. I have no idea what's happening. I'm just trying one more time. These are the problems of actually. I'll get one more this thing. And now I'll try to get this in the London region. Okay. And try to see if I can get going with an Ubuntu image now this time. Okay. Must have chosen a. Okay. Now I'll say that this is Jntuk. Okay. BDA 2. Okay. Now I have 1. So I'm just somehow that BDA 1 my access is not happening. Okay. I'm still not able to log in as a console. So I'm just attempting. One instance which I've created previously, I'm able to get to. Okay. But if there is a limitation to me saying that I can create only one instance at any given point of time, I don't know if my setting actually does that. I have no idea. I'm just trying to look at now if I'm actually limited in terms of how many instances I can own at any given point of time. If this guy, then he should not have even created that for me. He should have told me that look, we're allowed to create only one and not more. Okay. So, but I guess no, that's not the case. Right, obviously. So I'm trying to create another droplet now. As you can see, as we are working with a public cloud, the biggest challenge of now working with these public clouds is the network bandwidth. Now you can see you have to wait for this droplet to be created. This is going all the way to London. Okay. uh, I'm working with a data center in London now, trying to create an instance in London. Now you can see I have multiple instances. I'm on the fly, I'm creating my instances at different places. Obviously, I'll be charged and I'll be paying a little bit of money for doing this. Okay. Um, right? But then meanwhile, I can show you that I'm able to get back to the earlier droplet, one droplet that I've created previously, with which I've been able to do. If nothing works, for me I have some difficulty, then I'll get back to that and see why I'm not able to create new instances. Okay, now this should have come again as an email there for me. Okay, where it should now say what is the new. Okay, um, let me see if this has been able to send me. Yes, new droplet BDA has been created. Now this is a 46. You can see the IP address is different now. Okay, it's starting with 46.101.23.15. So this is something that got created at London. Okay, so 6D48B96. Okay, BFA. It's fairly simple. From this you can see it just takes a minute for me to just create these instances. As you can see, this is the big thing about cloud. Okay, I can just go and then create these instances in no time. Okay, now you can see I have again a console access. Hopefully with okay, 48E966FA. Okay, says my whatever I've written here is not correct. Let me go back and check. It's a fairly big password. That's a problem. I can't copy, cut and paste also. D2F8 FC FC 6D K48. I don't know what's happening. Okay, let me try one more time. Maybe I've sorry. There is I think some problem. Maybe it is timing out. Again my F8 FC 6D48B96VF. Yes, I've got now VS. There is some problem. I don't know what problem I'm getting into. Okay, so I'm not able to create a new instance of this droplet. I'm able to just create one instance. It's the same thing that's happening with both these instances. I'm not able to get to the okay. Anyway, so I have to debug this and see why this no thing is not happening for me. It's a fairly simple thing. I don't know what was the problem that is happening here. Okay. Uh, Unix password. I entered something there. I don't know what password I'd entered. Okay, doesn't matter. No, I think I'll check with Ramakrishna after this. I'm having problem. Okay, I can see that I'm not able to log in. I don't know what is the problem. So I get to the ones with which I'm actually able to access. Okay, this says it's in the Singapore region 1, Singapore region. It created, but then when I want to just get into it and want to start doing something, I'm having problem. Okay, I get the root password, but then let me try one last time and see what am I getting into. What am I actually losing out? Is the timeout is what's causing the problem, or what else could be causing the problem? Okay, D2. There is something. Yeah, I guess there is something that's happening. Okay, there is a problem. I guess. I think there is a this it is telling me correctly. So D2 F8 FC 6D48 E96 VFA. Okay, Now, check one. Okay. So let me actually change the password. For some reason, this is actually asking me to type. I don't know if I'm making a mistake in the way I'm typing the password, and it should say it's too simple, something like that. It's not even doing that. Okay, so there might be some problem with this droplet guy. Okay, uh, so there are problems like this. Okay, but then I had absolutely no difficulty when I was accessing this previously. I didn't encounter this. This is the first time I'm actually encountering logging into the. Okay, so now let me get to the ones which I had actually got already. Okay, I had actually started server here. Okay, in fact I wanted to show you how to start the server and then do all the stuff here. Okay, I think we will go through this process since we are trying to do now. As you can see, this is the server. Okay, now I actually transferred. Okay, I transferred the this thing into this server here now. As you can see, this is the IP address for this is 1.88.166.246.154. What did I do now? Actually, the new server.java actually I transferred it here. Okay, and then I'm actually compiling this in the cloud now. Okay, this is Singapore. This server is available in Singapore. Okay, so this compiled now. So now I can actually start this server here. Okay, this server in the cloud. So now remember, the server is running in the cloud now. Okay, this is something that's running in the cloud. I've set up now the whole server in the cloud, put my server program in the cloud, running the program in the server now. Okay, you can look at this. This is running. This program is now running in the cloud with this IP address 1.88.166.246.154. Okay, right. So this is what no this is the place where I'm running my new server now. Okay, the client now has to accordingly change. Okay, now earlier I'm running it on 10.6.9.81. Now this has become the cloud address. This is where the server is running. So accordingly, I have to change my program this thing here. I just changed this. In fact, I did a change just before the class. I was testing this. Made a change. As you can see here, the new server address is now changed to as it's running in 188.166.246.154. This is where the server is now running. So I've changed the server address to that. Okay. Now if I now run this this one, it would be able to connect to the okay, this program will be able to connect now to the. Okay, now you say Jankiram, and then it should just go. Now this should work with the server in the cloud. Okay. Now you see here in the server program, new server. This opened the socket, new thread created. Whatever you were earlier seeing it happening in the local server 10.6.9.81 is now happening in the cloud. So this server has got moved itself into the cloud now. I'm no longer running it in my local server here. I moved it to the cloud, and in the cloud this is running. As you can see, this whole program is running now in the cloud. Okay, I rented a server and started an Ubuntu operating system on it, installed Java on top of it. In fact, I've installed Java. All this I've done just before the class. Okay, Java C I've installed, and now actually I transferred the server program, new server.java program to this server. I thought I'll show you all the steps. Okay, but for some reason I'm not able to get to the access to my instances. I'm able to create the instances, but the password change there is not happening. Okay, which is quite simple. I don't know why it's actually coming out. Okay, not letting me change and access the server there. Okay, so now as you can see here, this is this server program got started in the cloud, and now my client program is connecting to the cloud server and working with the cloud. Okay, and the same thing what was happening with the local server is now happening with this cloud server. Okay, This is something interesting. What you should start realizing now is there are multiple differences of writing the programs to the cloud to the, okay. Yeah, so basically, as you probably somebody else is trying to open, okay, the connection to this. Has anybody in the class tried opening, sending a, okay? I can see the server address is 177.211.4.31, port 53409, local port 81, okay, 8127, okay, the server port. Okay, yes, somebody from the class has tried opening to this, trying to see if the server is really running in the server. Okay, I don't know what was the, okay. Has somebody tried connecting to this program? Anybody in the class? I've connected only once, but there seems to be somebody else who was trying to. Yeah, I think somebody Vijayanagaram campus is saying yes, sir. Okay, so they've tried connecting to this program, I think. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing because I've not actually. So that was interesting. Okay, so somebody is simultaneously trying to, yeah. Client says hi, 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 something. Okay, probably they are actually also experimenting live. That's great. Okay, so as you can see, I've hosted this program in the cloud, and now people are able to just write their client programs and then connect to this client and then server and then say whatever they want. They say that's what the server will say now. Okay. I guess that's the interesting thing. Okay, that's the interesting thing of running these programs in the cloud. Now, this once this IP address is known, people should be able to write their program and then write this. In fact, they could be saying, "Am I actually really running the program there, or I'm just?" So now this proves that everything that what I'm showing you actually is out there. From anywhere you should be able to run it yourself and then okay, start experimenting using these things that I'm teaching you. This is what cloud means. Okay, but there are lots of interesting stuff here. As you can see, I'm only renting simply a hardware, nothing else. In this particular case, I'm just getting the hardware and on top of it installing everything. Okay, on top of it I'm installing everything. Okay, but then it's possible for you to get the full application. For example, if you look at something like salesforce.com, you get the full application running in the cloud, and what you will access is I guess the other guys who are experimenting. No, it's already the same 177.211.40.31 port. Okay, the same set of guys who are experimenting. Okay, I think one of the big problems with working with the if there's a large amount of data that needs to be transferred between the local client, the server, then the public cloud becomes a bit of a problem. Okay, I have a question for you guys now. No, what are the round trip delays, message round trip delays? I'll see how many will actually answer this question for me. Okay, what are the round trip delays for the messages in a local area network versus local area network versus internet? For example, I'm accessing this machine in Singapore and also I'm accessing this machine in London. Okay, right? Now versus I'm accessing my machine in the local server. Okay, what will be the round trip delays roughly? Okay, what will you see as a round trip? One packet going to my local server and coming back versus one packet going from here to Singapore or to London or San Francisco and coming back. What is the orders that you will see? What is the orders of magnitude that you will see? Okay. Can anybody give me an idea what is the packet delays that one is going to look at, one is going to see as part of this? Please answer them in my chat session. Okay. Are you getting my question? Are you getting the question? What are the packet delays? What are the packet delays that you're going to see? Okay, packet delays. This is a big difference in terms of how we will look at cloud. Lots of stuff that I'm going to do now will require this understanding. There is a high speed network versus slow speed network. So what are the differences that, because this, what is the big deal? The one thing is I will suddenly get now, I will only do the pay as you use model here. So I have no problem in terms of, for example, here, okay, whatever you're doing here, okay, right, whatever you're doing here will be, is that some debugging that's happening here? People are not typing in anything or what? I'm in the server thread input stream. Actually, I think they're just returning. I think they're rerunning the client again and again, but not actually giving any input to the server. I think they're just opening the connections here, if I remember that. Okay, so the question here is more to do with, uh, you know, the local area networks are going to be much faster. So if you look at, for example, it will be tens of milliseconds. The round trip delays are going to be tens of milliseconds. Once you go to the internet, for example, I can look at that. If I just do the ping, okay, ping to 10 dot, okay, to just show you this, I'm doing this 10.81. Okay, this is my local server. Okay, it is about 1 millisecond. Okay, that's what we are seeing here. The ping, okay, the round trip delays, okay, for this server. Okay, now look at the ping where I'm running my server. Okay, what I'm running it somewhere in the cloud. So with an IP address of, I think, 188. Okay, ping 188.166. Dot, okay, 246.154. Okay, right, this is about 37 milliseconds. This internet being faster now, it's about 37 milliseconds. Okay, sometimes going to 60, 63, things like that. But then more practical assumption, if taken IP to the, London, for example. Okay, what is the other IP addresses that I have? London and San Francisco. I think the other two are actually okay, um, yes, the other two are in, actually one is in London. So you can just check IP address. Okay, if I just go to these droplets, maybe I should be able to see these droplets here. Now, one of the other droplets is in uh, London. Okay, so for example, what I had is 46 dot 101.23.15. Okay, this is what I had. Now, if I actually go there and then in for this, you can see it will be slightly more, in my opinion. Okay, these are actually becomes, sometimes there's no guarantee. So what happens is you suddenly see delays that on which you don't have any control, and this can, now you can see it's about 180 milliseconds. Okay, Singapore is faster, but now if you're going to London, this is about 180 milliseconds. If you've gone to San Francisco, it will be about 300 to 400 milliseconds. Okay, now you can from 1 millisecond to 37 milliseconds to 180 milliseconds to about 300 milliseconds. So the order of round trip delays, and if you're actually uploading GBs of data from your local machine to the cloud, then that's going to be extremely time consuming and also extremely costly. This is one practical difficulty of working with the clouds now. But then the biggest advantage now for you is to say that, look, I can create these instances, use them as required, and then as I use it, I can throw it off. Once I have actually finished doing with it, I can actually throw the instances. For example, I can go here. In just 1 minute, I can actually drop off the instances. Okay, I can just go here. Okay, Now you can say, I just want to shut off this instance. Okay, these two instances are used for me. I'm not able to, for some reason, able to access them. Okay, now I'll just go here, look at the okay, go here, and somewhere it should be able to tell me. Okay, uh, a resize. There is a destroy here. Okay, now all that I'll do is now destroy this. Okay, this is irreversible. Will destroy your droplet and all associated backups, which means that this BDA2 would have gone off permanently for me. If I have been doing something with it, this whole thing will just go off. That's it. Okay, I will not have droplet destroy initiated successfully. So after a while, if I'm looking for this last machine, okay, BDA2, which I've destroyed now, this just goes off. So if I actually now say, show me the droplets that I'm having, possibly that will just take this droplet off. Okay, right? So now you can see cloud is all about virtualization. Now there can be different layers of virtualization. Now first thing is, it's a platform virtualization, the hardware virtualization. So large data centers, what do? They do this virtualization of the hardware. They provide this hardware ability to create your virtual machine, this hardware with the OS, and then do whatever you want to do. Then you can actually put, I have actually installed Java, all that stuff. I'm going to show this, repeat this next class. We'll show you how to actually completely install and work with the virtual instance in the cloud. And after that, what we're going to do is, if I have actually tens or hundreds of machines, how am I going to work with those large number of machines? Okay, I no longer will be able to work, okay, at individual node level and write the programs the way I have written traditionally my Java programs. Okay, you need abstractions. You need good abstractions so that you can start creating things at a very high level. For example, one good abstraction is to just say, I want to create a web server. Okay, all that I do is just one command, and the web server gets installed, and then starts running successfully on the cloud, and then I can start, exposing that service for others to make use of. Okay. There is something called Node.js. It's a JavaScript based one, which is a very latest thing that people have created. So if you actually have this Node.js, creating the server is just one or two lines of code. That's all. The rest of it is done by the compiler, middleware, blah blah, whatever you call it underneath stuff is automatically created for you. Okay. You don't really write the programs at the wire level. This is called wire protocol, opening the sockets, trying to transfer the data. If the programmer is doing this is highly error prone. For example, I've just written one client and one server, and I've shown you how to write these wire protocols at that. And I also shown you how the threads can be created and how this whole process can be done. But if there are thousands of machines, this is like wires all over, the wires running from one machine to another machine, and trying to understand which IP addresses I need to collect, which IP addresses I need to work with. All that is going to be extremely messy. Okay, nobody does that. So what I do is, I actually do this at a very high level, and then I just specify at a very high level. Rest of it I expect a middleware to do it. Okay, that's where abstractions in distributed programming becomes extremely important, because nobody would like to write these programs at the wire level. Writing programs itself is hard. If you are asked to now write distributed programs, they're very error prone. So many things can go wrong in a distributed program. Debugging is not easy. Debugging is a nightmare as far as these programs are concerned. Okay. So what we're going to see is, next class I'm going to repeat this. I'll show you. I'm somehow not able to access this instance. I'll see what was the problem. Okay, it must be a simple problem. Okay, probably I have one running instance. If I'm allowed to have only one running instance at any given point of time, possibly I will see if I shut down this, then I may be able to get the access to the other one. Okay. We'll do that in the next class. As we're going now into the cloud, we will try to now teach the concepts involving the cloud. What are the issues? Then we go deeper. We're going to show all the nuances and the research issues, also a little bit of research issues leading to projects, how you can do interesting projects in the cloud space, what are some of the interesting projects and how you can start planning. For example, most of you are in the 4th year, how you can start planning for projects in this area of cloud and big data. Okay, so we're slowly moving into the parts of cloud and big data. Okay, we come to the second module. First module of writing distributed programs we have covered. So we are now looking at how we actually do it in the cloud platforms. Okay, so I'll come back next class on Wednesday. Okay, and we'll see how things are going. Any questions you have, you can ask me now. Okay, I can take a few questions. Are there any questions? Any questions? Anyone having a question? Is the transmission everything fine today? Everything? Ramakrishna, is everything went off okay? I didn't had any interaction, so I don't know how it has gone over. Yes, sir. There is something, no issues, sir. Okay, that's what it says. Vijayanagaram says that can you repeat the purpose of thread sleep? Somebody is asking this question. Vijayanagaram, can you just come online, please? Can you publish your can you publish your this thing? Is it possible for you to publish your video? Can you repeat the purpose of thread sleep? What do you mean by they are publishing, sir? Okay, so I'll just go over there. So let me just start the introduction. See, the thread sleep I have introduced only for hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, see, yeah, the thread sleep I have introduced mainly because I wanted to show that part is taking long time. Instead of writing a lot of code there, I just made it sleep, Okay.
Sir, actually we have tried that assignment question, sir. That creating two threads, one for read and one for write. So there, if we won't put that thread sleep, that is coming out, sir.
Yeah, because if you don't put thread sleep, it's a very short code, right? Short instruction code. Okay. So now what happens is, once the instructions are over, it will come out. Okay, thread sleep. See, this is like what you're now saying is that thread is doing a lot of, instead of writing the code there, I made it sleep there. That's all. Okay.
Sir, actually that assignment question in client, one thread for reading and one thread for writing, sir. And it is
Correct.
waiting,
Yeah.
but it is coming out of the connection, sir. If you don't put the thread sleep. But how will I know how much time that I have to put that sleep, sir? That is my question, sir.
No, I think you are, see this, now you are getting the hard difficulties of writing distributed programs. Okay. Now your problem is, when you are trying to read, if the client is not ready to send it, okay, the connection will be closed and it will come out of it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. So there is a synchronization problem. Additionally, there is a synchronization problem. Okay. Now those problems I didn't get into. You will get into lot more difficulties because you see, remember, I'll show you one simple exercise. Just try to send, let the client try to send some message and the server is not ready to receive it at that point of time. What will happen? The client create an error and will come out of it.
Yes.
Okay? Because, it's not able to open the socket and send the information, right? Now,
Yes.
the question is, server should be ready at any given point of time, should be willing to accept the information. Okay?
Yes.
Right? So server should start ahead of the client. Otherwise, there is no point in actually client sending the information. Okay?
Sir. Yes.
Is that becoming clear now? There is a synchronization issue. Additionally, there is a synchronization issue. Okay? The sleep that I have introduced is mainly for the reason of making sure the program takes longer time. For that reason, I have introduced the thread sleep. You are introducing the thread sleep because you have a synchronization problem. Okay? Am I right?
Sir. Sir. Sir.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Sir, the problem was we have created a client side two threads, sir, one for reading and one for writing, sir. Server side
Okay.
also two threads, one for reading and one for writing, sir. First we started
Okay.
server and we started client also.
Okay.
So here client is waiting for server message as well as server is waiting for the client message. But if we don't
Sure.
put a thread sleep in client side, it is coming out, sir, simply. That problem
Yeah.
we were, why
See
we
why
are
it
getting.
will happen. See why that will happen. That will happen because when this thread, what is the meaning of a thread? Thread is concurrently executing. Okay.
Yes,
So it comes to the point where it should read something. Okay. An exception will occur because there is nothing it is able to read from the server side. Okay.
yes,
Do you understand what I'm saying? Then
yes.
an exception will occur, thread exception will occur for the socket and it will close, that's all. Okay, it will come out of it.
Sir, actually we have used the try catch block. There we are printing that print stack. We are printing that total stack trace also, sir. We are
Okay.
catching that exception also, sir. It is not abnormally terminated.
It won't normally terminate because you're reading from there is something wrong then. See, basically the threads, once you started threads, they start independently executing. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now if you don't put a sleep, it will normally thread will go into that section where it wants to read what the server has sent. Okay.
Yes, sir.
There's nothing to read at that point of time. Okay.
Yes,
The
sir.
read finishes. Okay. Right.
Sir, actually we have created two threads, sir. One for read and one for write, sir.
That's what I'm telling. The read will come out. Okay. Your read thread will come out. Okay. The write will wait for the input from the console. Okay.
Yes,
The read will come out. If you don't put a sleep, it will come out because it's not independently executing. It tries to read. Okay. There's nothing to read. That instruction will either should create an exception. If you carefully look at it, that will create an exception because the socket is not open now. Okay. And it has nothing to read, so it will actually close. It will come out of it. Okay. Is
okay,
that
sir.
clear?
Yes,
If you
sir.
put a sleep and it will wait for that period, it will sleep, and it wakes up, then it will read the whatever is in the buffer. Okay. A
There
sleep will
like,
solve your problem. Huh?
sir, actually how much time I have to put a sleep, I how will I know, sir?
Now it will
That's
be a problem for you because the server, you have to send it, the server has to write it back, and at least your sleep has to be sufficiently long for that message to be written by the server so that this read can read. Okay.
yes, sir.
Is that clear now?
Yes, sir.
See, that you are just getting into the problems of distributed computing. Okay. Right. I have not gone, since you have started writing these programs, now you know how difficult it is in terms of getting these threads to synchronize. Okay. Lots of other problems will happen. For example, if the messages are delivered out of sync, okay, if the messages are delivered out of sync, then you get a lot of other problems like, um, you know, uh, okay, temporal inconsistencies, time dependencies, inconsistencies in your program execution. Okay, right? For example, imagine you are asking me a question, I'm giving you a reply. If everybody else is listening to my reply first and then getting your question, then there's a temporal inconsistency. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? Imagine
Yes,
there are
sir.
threads running. You ask me a question. In response to this question, I'm giving you an answer. Okay? Right? Everybody else gets my answer first and then your question. Rest of them, then there is a temporal inconsistency. Okay? Right? Since this message latencies, there is no way to actually estimate the message delays, message latencies. These programs can result in a temporal inconsistency, right?
Yes,
Okay, that's very nice question. Good question. That it's nice that you are doing all this. Okay, you will learn more. Yes, good. Yeah. Okay, I'm happy at least somebody is following and doing things. Okay. I think Kakinada is also having a question, I guess. So, okay. Let me try to get Kakinada online. Yes. Yeah. Is there any question?
Good afternoon,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm seeing live Kakinada now. Is there any question?
Yes, I have one question, sir. One doubt, sir.
Yeah,
Sir,
please tell me.
you talked about that like while we are connecting to the server on cloud, sir. You
Mm-hmm.
talked about turnaround time, sir.
Huh?
Like related to package, sir. Talked about some time delay and all, no, sir.
Yeah.
Turnaround time, sir.
Huh?
Actually, I want to know, sir, what. Sir, actually, I want to know, sir, what was the reason behind, sir? Like while we connect to the local server,
Mm-hmm.
there is very less delay, sir. And while
Yeah.
we connect to the in London or Singapore, sir, there is variation in that delay time, sir. Is it only the bandwidth that is causing the difference, or
Yes.
distance too matters?
That's the bandwidth. You don't have, my local area network is at 10 Gbps, right? 10 gigabits per second. I can't afford an internet connection to London at 10 Gbps per second. It's going to be extremely expensive. Okay. So what IIT Madras gets is a few Mbps, and that is shared across all the people who are using the internet connection, right? And there is a upstream, downstream links, right? All those links are not guaranteed to give you the amount of bandwidth that you can get in the local area network. So you suddenly don't get the kind of bandwidth that you get in the public cloud versus the local area network. Okay, local area
So
network,
distance has
everything is hmm, not the
so sir,
distance, the bandwidth,
distance
right?
has nothing to.
Hmm? It has nothing to
So
do with distance. It is something to do with the bandwidth. If you are able to afford a 10 Gbps network to London, you will get the same speeds,
Thank you, sir.
but it's extremely expensive. Okay, yeah. So that's why
Sir, when
it
it
starts.
travels at light velocity, distance doesn't matter there.
Yeah, no, distance doesn't matter. It's mostly the bandwidth. Okay, yeah. These distances are not really that. Yeah. Once you have the enough bandwidth, then you actually start seeing the round trip delays actually drops. Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
we have
Ah.
a sleep command to sleep for a specific time period in Java and
Mm,
all.
mm,
Sir, can you make one process sleep until another
mm.
process is complete or some kind of interrupt is there? Any kind of
Yeah, yeah,
low level? I think if
yeah.
you
You
make
can.
the sleep,
Mm,
suppose the reading, if the
mm,
server is not there, it will have a
mm,
normal exit. You said in the thread.
mm, mm,
Suppose if we
mm,
say that you sleep till the server
mm,
is on,
mm.
probably we can achieve that also successfully, sir.
Yeah, I didn't go further deep. You can actually write programs such that you can actually a wake up thread can be that is sleeping can be woken up on an event happening. Okay.
On an event, sir.
But that's actually, yeah, when an event occurs, then you can bring that thread back. But an explicit thread sleep will actually put the thread to sleep. So for that much time, actually, the thread is actually made to sleep. Okay. For example, set jump, long jump, all those are actually ways by which people do this even in C programming. Okay. There are multiple ways people can write event based programs where an event occurs, then you can start responding to that event. Okay, so you can actually write what are called software interrupts. Okay, based on those interrupts, the program starts
They
responding when
are
such an
available in
event
C
is.
language.
They're also available
They
in
are
Java,
available
but
in
only thing
C,
is,
sir.
yeah, so you have to actually interface it with there are multiple ways. I think that will take us into a completely different discussion. For example, all the UIs are actually programmed based on the events. For example, even Java UIs, when you click on the some icon or something, that's an event. So that event actually triggers some other action. Okay. So all UIs are actually written in that particular way. When that event occurs only, they will actually execute the required stuff. It is possible to write it in Java. All languages, more or less high-level languages, provide you that ability to do that. Okay. But I think that's a different, subject by itself. Probably we should not, get into. There is a problem with Java's initial. Huh?
Just for information's sake, I asked you.
Yeah. I think Java, initially Java AWT has a problem in the way it was handling the events. Okay, then they had to rewrite that event based system, and ultimately it became a swing, swing collection. So that's a different, I see there are multiple issues here. I'm happy that people are thinking. Okay, that's the whole idea. So some of it they probably have to discover on their own. See, this is question of how much we'd like to uncover, because the idea is to get them introduced to writing distributed programs, per se, but then not go very deep on just teaching them how to write distributed programs, because the idea is to quickly abstract out of it and get to a higher level with Hadoop and other paradigms that are coming in,
That's our
so that
basic important issue,
yeah,
sir.
but they should suddenly appreciate how distributed programs are written, and what is the challenge of writing the distributed programs. Without that, just getting into Hadoop and then Node.js kind of works doesn't make much sense, So that's the idea.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Any other question? I'm happy with this interaction today because I know that people are following and they're asking, questions. So any other college has questions? Other colleges? I see both colleges, both college campus colleges seems to be very active, at least following what's happening. So any other college also having any question? I see some. Any other college having question, please raise it. Okay, now this should, one thing that's suddenly is that with this it becomes a lot more easier for you to see how cloud works, because I'm actually taking a cloud platform and then showing you the same. The idea is take the same program and then put all the nuances, okay, into that program, take it to the cloud. Now show you what happens if I'm actually programming on the cloud. Okay, and I can get some more nuances. As we are doing it, we can introduce a lot more nuances as part of that. Okay, so we'll continue on Wednesday. Okay, right? Yeah. Okay. If there are no more questions, I will actually log out.